while you guys are enjoying the cocktails,
Yes.
we'll go through the slides.
Okay.
And
Can.
today the topic is all about, although you guys are drinking a Cognac cocktail, but today it's going to be the origins of Armagnac. The geography of Armagnac means that where is Armagnac from? Because as you guys know that Champagne is going to be a region, Cognac is going to be a region, but where is Armagnac from?
Okay.
The next is Gascony. Gascony famous produce. Now you see Gascony, that means Armagnac is at Gascony.
Okay. Okay. South of France.
Southwest.
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 Okay.
And next is obviously we're gonna do like a comparison of Armagnac and Cognac itself. Great varieties. Compared to the rest of the wines that they produce, but Armagnac is different. Armagnac only uses, and also the oak means what type of oak barrel they're going to use. So in like say the aging of Armagnac is mostly French black oak barrel that compared to Cognac. Cognac we are using French white oak barrel. Okay, and also for the aging of Armagnac is the French black oak barrel. They have to age it at least 2 to 3 years because it's a young wood. So the eau de vie itself, they will absorb a lot of the flavors of the wood. Then they will transfer it into like a oak barrel that's being used before, just to maintain the flavor. And to age it in to a more 7 years to go, and maybe at 25 or 30 or 40 or 50 to up to 60 or up to maybe like 80. So next is different types of Armagnac. So there's like I mentioned, there's 4 different grape varietals. So some of them can be like a single vintage with one single grape involved. Some can be like a double grape, triple grape.
Okay.
It all varies.
Depends.
It also depends on how the house they when they age certain kind of grape. That particular grape, let's say it's Uni Blanc, then they'll taste it, then say, okay, this can be a single vintage, compared to saying that, okay, this can be a blend. So we'll talk about it later. The age statement, and the favorite part is obviously the tasting.
Yes.
And last but not least is a question and answer.
Okay.
And for this slide, if you guys want, talk to Xuan, and Xuan will be more than likely to share with you guys.
Okay.
So from the tasting map, from what you can see, we have 4 different houses already, and the last one, Mystery, is we will share with you
last
guys.
one, Mystery.
Is something like say special from my boss.
Okay.
Later we'll do a video call as well.
Okay.
Like just now I mentioned that for Exquisite Elixir, we are based. First company we started is 7 years ago. It's based in Thailand, and recently like two years ago, we started the Singapore company.
Okay. The boss from Thailand.
Thailand.
Okay, based in Thailand. So
Based in Thailand.
import first, try if feels potential, so come. Okay.
She's a type of person that she's very adventurous. So
adventurous,
to get hold of being a partnership with the houses, is she fly to France.
Yes.
Not
on
each
doors.
door.
All
Each door.
hard work.
Yeah.
All by hard work.
Dedication, hard work.
Correct.
And
not easy, right?
Yeah, it's not
French
easy.
people.
Because I don't even speak French. I mean, most of us we don't speak French, and most of them they speak French. The communication is wrong.
Not easy.
And also some of the houses that we have, the information on the internet is basically close to zero.
Correct.
Because for them they are only like a 2-man to 3-man team.
True.
Yeah.
Some very small. Sometimes they are family business.
It's
over
their family
for
business.
hundreds of years.
Passed down through generations.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So for the origins of Armagnac is founded during the 15th century, but compared to Cognac is 16.
Quite
And-
close, quite close. Yeah.
Correct. And for brandy itself, there's another name for brandy. It's called burnt wine. Right. And that's why the name brandy is being found. And also in in Armagnac, this is a fun fact. In Armagnac, the most famous town in Tennessee is called Condom.
Okay.
Yeah, spelled directly Condom.
Okay.
Then a lot of like our friends will say, condom. So they invented condom is invented way later.
Way later,
but
yeah.
the town itself is called condom.
Okay.
So yeah, from what you can see,
This
the
is
French, the wine
it's the southern, southwest.
Yeah, from what you can see,
Gascony.
Armagnac is here, where they produce.
Bordeaux.
Armagnac is called Gascony.
Okay.
Then Cognac is over here.
Over here, yeah.
So you have the north and the south.
North and the south.
Southwest one. North.
Can I say these two are quite similar, right? So these
Yeah.
are the two.
They are quite similar because they uses most of them. I mean, Cognac they only use the Unibon grape. But for Armagnac they also uses the Unibon grape, but with another
Three other
different type for them to choose from, and also for them to like their vineyard see like what type of grapes that they want to grow. So from here you can see here is the Armagnac. So there's 3 terroirs in Gascony itself that produces Armagnac. So the first one we have the Bar Armagnac, French pronunciation because most of us are Singaporean or Bas, but the correct pronunciation is Bar. Is Bar Armagnac. For them is that their terroir over here, the ground, the soil is sandy, slaty soil. So the way that they grow their grapes is going to be different, like different style or different taste. Yeah. But for us, the grapes that being grown over at Gascony, the grapes tend to be, their skin tend to be thick, and when you taste it, it's sour. Yeah. And for Tennessee, the soil is clay and limestone, and it's chalky.
Okay.
And for Oak Armagnac, it's different. Oak Armagnac is much more on the terrain. The terrain is much more higher. That one of the house that you got to taste is called Aton.
Okay.
So Aton is situated. The altitude is about 220 meters high. Yeah, and there's only left about 5% of houses. Only 5% compared to the rest of them. There's up to 500 plus.
Okay.
It only consists of 5%.
So more difficult because of the terrain.
Because of the terrain, of the terroir.
Yeah.
Like
But what would you say the signature kind of differentiation? Like really.
For
the soil is different.
Yeah, the soil.
Really chalky. So the
For
taste
like-
is quite unique.
because of the altitude as well.
Okay.
So for Aton, they are situated over here, and they are pretty lucky. And they have their own like vineyard, situated at 220 meters in altitude. And for Oak Armagnac is here. You see the color over here? One pattern over here.
Yeah.
But mostly these are not suitable for growing the grapes. And the soil type limestone. Yeah. Hills with clay. So it's very difficult. So hence it's only 5% of what of the 500 over producers are. Yeah. This is very interesting thing. Gascony famous produce food and chef.
Oh, they have
They have the foie gras,
mushroom.
they
Yeah.
have the
Okay.
duck confit,
Okay.
duck fat. because they have the duck confit, of course they have the duck fat.
Yeah.
Correct. Yeah. And
A lot
truffle.
of famous chef.
Yeah. famous chef is most of the people that want the chefs that want to get well known. They also go to Gascony to have a little bit of training and to learn about the finesse of the ingredients they got to use. Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
And most of them.
Wow. Interesting.
Yeah.
Good.
So next, okay, grape varieties.
Okay.
So from what you can see over here,
four types. Yeah.
the 4 types that is commonly used, and the rest is like uncommon, but they'll still use a bit
of mix.
here and there. But they won't disclose that they are
Yeah,
using
they
this,
will
but they'll
say-
disclose that they're using the 4. Okay. And also one of them is the Uni Blanc.
Uni Blanc.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like I mentioned, Cognac is also using only Uni Blanc.
Blanc.
They will not use the rest of the tree. Okay. Baco 228A. It is certified for the French government. They say that okay, Baco is actually an American grade.
Okay.
During 205 that you have the AOC, then say okay, you can use Baco. Then they also use the grape that's imported from America over here just to distill it, just to make it into wine. Colombo is also one of the common ones. And last but not least is the Faux Blanche. And Faux Blanche is the way that they grow it is very unique in the sense that it's very limited. So it consists of only 2% of what the Armagnac grapes varietal is called consists of. Yeah. Wine to Armagnac. So this is also another very interesting fact that we learned along the way is during August to March, next year March. So from August to September is the month that they harvest. So one month they harvest. Then after which from September to October, also 1 month, they'll make it into wine.
Oh, during that month they make the wine. Okay.
Yeah. Then from October all the way to March, they will start to distill as much as they can. Then they start to age it.
Okay.
And everything has to stop during the end of March the 31st.
Okay.
Anything after that is a no. Because it's a standard rule and regulation and kind of thing in France.
Not allowed to.
Not allowed to.
Yeah.
That's why during like say before August, April till July is where you see most of the winemakers or even like Armagnac producers will come to Singapore or all around.
They do the trade show, do some sales,
and that's
marketing.
the only time that they can travel.
Okay.
And the rest of the time that they will be doing this.
Okay.
Because it's their bread and butter.
Yes.
And they have to do it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is pretty interesting as well. Yeah. So from what you can see is like from wine they distill into the clear spirit like this. It's called eau de vie. Yeah. Then you put it in the cask, they age it, and they'll call Armagnac.
Okay.
So a little bit of the distillation process that I'm going to show you guys is the pot still and how they make from wine distilled and into the cask itself.
Okay. 15 degree goes up. Okay.
This is where the magic happens.
You heat it up. Boiler. 100 degree. Wow.
So you have to heat the wine until the vapor catches the condensation, but then it's the eau de vie itself.
I see. So it goes through condensation.
Yeah, the cooling. So it goes
Go right
down.
there and cool and go. Okay. What happened to the residue? They just collect it. Cannot do any byproduct. Residue cannot
Maybe
do anything.
the sustainability part is like to feed it to the pigs
Okay.
or to make it into soil.
Okay. What's the yield like? I mean, like the yield, how many percent of the wine can reduce to? I think quite tough, like I think. Yeah.
For this, let me go to France then. But soon.
Okay, good.
Like for example, for Armagnac, it's being distilled already.
Yes.
But without aging,
without aging,
it's called eau de vie, or in France we call. But eau de vie is also called. Is also in French. But a shorter way to call it is called a blanche. Yeah. So without aging, but without aging, you have to wait at least 3 months for them to like lower down on the alcohol percentage or even add water. Yeah, but I have to do it in 1 year. Within 1 year.
Okay.
How long does it take to fill a barrel?
Okay.
How long does it take to fill a barrel from distillation?
Depends on how much wine that they make. Yeah, from the wine itself. Yeah. So different type of wood that is being used. So like I mentioned, for Armagnac mostly they will use French black oak barrel because it's a young cask. It's very intense. So when the eau de vie goes in with a alcohol percentage of maybe 56%, so the eau de vie will absorb most of the flavor of the cask in for at least 2 to 3 years. Then after which they will pour everything out to being transferred to a cask which is being used before, but there's still plenty of flavors to extract it from, and they will slowly age it. They'll age, depends on how long they want to age it, 20 years, 30 years, 40, 50, 60, because the flavor is so intense, which is very good for, not saying that it's good for drinking, but they'll try to mellow the alcohol percentage down, but they'll do it like maybe once every 5 years to taste. Yeah, but that's the job of the master blender to really to know which is best for the house or which is best for the product. So first we have the French black oak. So like I mentioned. So the second is 1 to 2 year a new oak barrel, which the Cognac they are very very famous for using, and it's because of the black oak is only being found in Gascony itself, but the French oak you can find the rest of France. Then is the cooperage, the barrel maker. In Scotland we call them the cooperage, but in France we call them the barrel maker. So for each barrel maker, they will know that okay, for this house they have to do it like that size, which style of wood that they use. So they are very precise because it's their bread and butter, and they have been doing it for many years. Because it's passed down through generation. And another
long way
cask that they use is like those being used before. Like some of the for example Cognac, they also use cask that's being used for whiskey.
Okay, they do use this.
Yeah. What you call it is like a whiskey cask finish.
Okay.
Yeah. But for Armagnac itself, usually they don't use it. Yeah. Because they want to stick with the tradition and just make everything perfect. Yeah.
At this point, I just want to ask, does Italy produce something similar, but of course cannot call grappa? Similar,
grappa is
still
okay. It's also made from wine. Then after which they
what region they make this?
Italian.
Not sure
I think,
but they do I mean, like they copy each other
I have to read through my text.
No, but just curious and understand.
Because the Italians, they obviously they make wine.
Sure. They will also
as well,
just like, because let's say you go Italy, of course you don't go and look for this Armagnac like this French, so you maybe look for
grappa. It's grappa.
Okay, good.
Even to my Italian friends, they can talk grappa the whole day.
Passionate.
They are very passionate. But for us, we like to talk about our food.
Yes.
Because we treat eating as a as an Olympic sport.
True.
We can talk about chicken rice for 6 hours. No problem. Okay. Types of Armagnac. So you have the Blanche, obviously.
Blanche,
Blanche is
single year lah, single year.
so you have to be made in one single year.
So usually the colouring is clear lah, because one single year.
Unaged.
Unaged lah,
It's
consider,
unaged. Distilled straight away, not into a cask, but into a pot. Then they'll let it cool down.
Okay.
I have to bottle within a single year. So
Okay,
it's
so
stated
it's
a single year.
okay.
And it can be a single grape variety. So there's one single grape variety that they very commonly used is called the Flot Blanche. So and the Flot Blanche is only consists of 2% that's being harvested in France itself. So we have a few bottles here. Is a Flot Blanche, and comparing to a blend of maybe like 3 grapes to one single grape, the taste is definitely different. Yeah. But don't worry, the one that we are going to taste is a Datica Long, is a blend of three grapes. It's still going to be creamy and fruity at the meantime. Okay. So next we have the blend. So the blend can be from different year, different casks, different year. It can be 2011, 2012, 2013. Yeah, and it can be a blend of several grape varieties as well. And also several barrels, like say from this cask 2013, 2011. It's like from different casks you can blend it. Next is the vintage. So vintage you can also be blend, but everything has to come from one single particular year.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
For example, here is stated is 2011. Yeah.
All same year.
Yeah.
But you age it age it longer.
1 year means that all of the casks, every cask have to be one particular year.
The same year.
The same year.
Then,
yeah. And also can be used like with several grape varieties as well. And also can be consist of several barrels. Yeah. And last but not least is the single barrel. Single barrel is very straightforward. It can be only from one cask, one particular vintage, like one year. Yeah. And one grape.
So in terms of pricing, which one will I say they will normally sell higher?
Of course,
single barrel. Okay,
because the single barrel can only like maybe like you're drinking like a 50-year-old, but the 50-year-old consists of maybe like 100 bottles. Yeah. But the price is not going to be has skyrocket as like what the other brands what the other like spirits are doing, but still the houses are still keeping it and very much more wallet friendly.
Okay.
Because they want to
people
show.
can enjoy ma.
Yeah.
If you have too high a price, people just keep it.
Yeah, and also for some of the houses, the people that work for the house, they distill, they age, so they have one small little stash is for their own.
Yeah,
like
consumption.
Butter trade.
Butter trade,
like the butter
exchange, among friends.
And this is what the old times and what they do.
Yes.
Like during maybe during the war that they will use the cask and exchange for food.
Yes. True. Okay.
And this is also quite interesting. The natural color of the aging of Armagnac. Obviously, 0 age is the Blanche, and all the way to 60 years old.
60 years.
But not necessary. That they say that 60 years old is better. But some of the eau de vie that's been inside the cask for 60 over years old can be bitter.
True.
Can be enjoyable, but or can be like overly thick, like gelato.
Gelato, yes.
So for me, my preference is I'll tend to drink 10 to 30.
The middle middle.
Somewhere around
Don't get some too extreme.
But of course, like some of the 30 to 60s, they are also very enjoyable as well. But it's a chance for you to explore. Yeah.
True.
As we know that for the houses, they are all situated at 3 different levels of Gascony. So the way that they do things also different. The pot still that they use are also different as well. So it tends to vary that who is the master blender or which house they are from. Yeah. So like the Chinese say the old people lah, saying 哇越老的越好 yeah, the older the better. It's not true. Yeah. Some can be younger, but it's so enjoyable and water friendly.
Correct.
Yeah.
That's true.
So the short form.
Okay,
of them is
VS.
VS
Very
is so fast,
special.
very special.
Yes.
Okay. But it's each at a certain number of years is 1 or 2 years. And the VSOP, special opal. ANS answer. No, it's not answer. In France, it's called the year.
Yeah.
For you can say it's like 18
years.
Yes. Hodage. This is interesting.
How much?
What the meaning of Hodage is? It consists of a minimum of 10 years. Minimum of 10 years. But it's a blend of maybe with 15 to 30 to 25
I
12.
see.
But they make it Hodage as a benchmark.
Minimum 10 years.
Benchmark.
You can be more
10 years.
a mixture of
Yeah,
a few.
it can be a blend of maybe like for the 30 years it's only like a bit of the 30 years to make up the taste profile of the Armagnac as well. Of course, XO is extra old.
How many years normally? Any specification? Like maybe 20 or
XO is maybe
50,
about 15
15
12
like
to
that
15.
12, 15 now. 15,
Right.
yeah. Then you got vintage lah.
Yeah,
Vintage.
the vintage is of course like the year itself, and after which is like let me show you about it.
1993.
Vintage is very simple.
It's stated the year lah.
For this, it's stated the year of like a 1959.
Okay.
That's the vintage.
Okay.
So it's the it's the year that they harvest the grapes, and the aging process starts from 1959. But right until they bottom, then they will know the definition of the year itself. But most of the vintage for French Armagnac, they will not put the number of year, but to know the correct answer, they always put the bottling date.
Bottling date.
The bottling date, the month, and the year. Yeah.
Okay.
So you have to do your own mathematics.
Oh.
So 2023
Yes.
minus 1959.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is about 60 years.
60 years. So what was one bottle of this cost roughly? Ballpark.
We will find out.
Few $100.
Just like maybe like a 30 ml bottle. Yeah. This. Can we check the bottle price?
Okay. So all the good stuff.
All these are for sale. Yeah. We even have like say the oldest vintage is 1923. Is someone around here? Just one find. Just to make things interesting.
So for this range, we opened by the glass 1970 all the way to 1999. So 69 and below is only by the total. But
Okay.
most of it is by the glass.
So glasses how much? Someone have
Glasses
to
it range from 55 onwards, 47 onwards to
Okay.
100 and 900.
Okay.
By the glass.
By the glass okay.
Which is really a very good deal.
Yeah, I think so. Let's
Compared
say you
to
want
like
to
whiskies and
correct.
others,
Yeah.
Whiskey, the most expensive that we ever had is 1974. Wow, $900
Wow.
for 30 ml. But that's a piece of history.
History lah, history and also
Right.
But
reality
this is
ah.
also a piece of
No,
history.
this is also a piece of
Yes.
history.
Yes.
Then you have to think in terms that people go and harvest, no.
Yeah.
Harvest for 1 month,
Yes.
then after that they
The
make the wine.
difficulty to make is almost the same.
Yeah, the step is 2 steps extra.
Correct. Okay.
Okay, next one.
Okay.
Wonder what the difference
Okay,
between
the
cognac,
difference,
brandy,
okay.
and Armagnac is?
Brandy.
Here's the brief answer. If cognac is Beyonce, Armagnac is Solange, and brandy is Old. No, not that brandy. Still confused? Let's dig in. Any kind of distilled spirit made from fermented fruit juice is brandy. Cognac and Armagnac are two specific types of brandy. Armagnac is the less famous of the two brandies, but equally good with a group of very dedicated fans. The main difference between Cognac and Armagnac is also known as the golden rule of real estate. Location, location, location. Only a wine brandy produced in the Cognac region can be called Cognac, while Armagnac must be from the Armagnac region in Gascony, southwest France. There are, of course, a few other things specific to their production that distinguish Cognac and Armagnac. Number 1. Grapes. Nearly all Cognac is made from the grape variety called Uni Blanc. The same type of grape is also used for Armagnac, but there are 3 other varieties that are equally common, all of which are white grapes. Number 2. Aging. Due to its distillation method, Armagnac is, on average, aged longer than Cognac, 10 years and more to be exact. Number 3. Blending. With very few exceptions, Cognac will always be blended. While Armagnac can be blended, unblended vintage Armagnac is also very common. Number 4. Taste. When it comes to taste, Cognac is more subtle and gentle, while Armagnac is considered to be more complex and robust. It's also higher in alcohol. Cognac usually has an ABV of 40%, while Armagnac is typically between 46 to 48% ABV. No matter whether you feel weary or crazy in love, the brandy family has you covered. Pour yourself a glass of your favorite Cognac or Armagnac and become a little drunk in love.
Okay, so the video stated that Armagnac is always like in the ABV of 46% to 48%.
Yes.
Some can be even higher, but higher in the sense that when you drink it, the finishing is even longer. But they will, for normal, like people's point of view, their perception is the higher the alcohol content is going to have a burning sensation.
Burning sensation.
Even a good Armagnac, you will not feel the burn. It's going to be like very round in flavor in the palate, and the finishing is longer. And for rest, as you know, that it's made from grapes, definitely it's going to be much more fruitier in the meantime. And aged Armagnac tends to taste a little bit of like raisins or prunes. Yeah. And of course the oakiness in the flavor of the wood itself, on the cask itself. So, and do a comparison. Like people like to see like sadistic, so we did like a sadistic as well. So Armagnac and Cognac, the size of the of the vine,
bigger.
of the vine, of course it's like Armagnac is smaller, 80,000 compared to 50,000. There's a huge difference.
223 million bottles.
Yeah, 223 million bottle that's being exported out. And compared to Armagnac, it's only 6 million, which is just like an angel share. Of what's Armagnac is being produced. So little.
Yes.
Yeah.
But 50% means 50% is kept in France, local consumption.
Yeah.
Is what you mean?
Yeah, correct. Just a little bit only.
Yes.
That's going to be export. Yeah. Compared to 223 million bottles that's being like spread out into our Thai disco in Singapore. It's way different. Like from what you look at it, and also for why they have so many bottles being exported out is because of their size of their vineyard, and also who owns the brand. Yeah, the big four I mentioned is like Vin Santori, is Cobase, then LVMH is Hennessy,
yes.
then followed by Martell. Pernod Ricard is they own Martell. And last but not least is Rémy Cointreau. Rémy Cointreau, of course, they own like Rémy Martin. So they are the big four that really dominate the market.
Vin Santori is a Japanese.
It's a Japanese company.
Okay.
But they bought the house of Cobase. It's been a long time already. It's been a long time. Okay. And of course, the big four, they have their own company budget to play around with. For us, the small house like Gajah Putih,
yes,
to like, try our best to help to promote it in the market as well.
Yes.
Yeah, and the soil has what we mentioned from the three different
type,
terroir. So it's going to be 3 different types of soil, and also the grape variety is Armagnac is 4 commonly used. Compared to Cognac, there's only 1 grape, which is the Uni Blanc, but they will use 98% of it. And yeah, taste-wise, Armagnac much more robust in flavor compared to Cognac, because Cognac is mostly bottled at 40%, whereas like Armagnac can be like 40% onwards to 48%, or most, the highest that we try 42 or 43, 52 to 53%, which is not very high because we are seasoned drinkers. We drink most of the time, but we do enjoy higher ABV because we prefer like things like the Armagnac, which is much more longer in finish. Nice. So the partners that we have, like I mentioned, that we have we are partners with 10 different houses in France, Gascony itself. So yeah, so today we'll try 5 of the different houses that we have over here with our 10 partners. And for the 10 partners that we have over here, you can even find their labels around it. Yeah. Some of them are up or down, smaller batch. Yeah. So okay, let's go to the first one that we're going to try.
Okay.
It's the Tatikalon. So being founded at 1838, but
First one on your left.
yeah, the first one on the left. This one. This one. So they founded in 1838, and their first cask being produced is actually 1848. Yeah, and they still have the cask in their secret storage. So for this Armagnac itself is blend with three different grapes. So one of them is the Flot Blanche, Baco, and Uni Blanc. So this tends to be a little bit fruity itself. So the next picture we're going to show you is Mr. Benoit, number 6 generation from the descendant, but he's not in the bloodline. This lady is the bloodline, and he married her. Yeah, and now apparently the business all belongs to him, and he only started working for the house during 2010, and recently he came to Singapore as well.
Okay.
Yeah, if you keep read our social media like Facebook or Instagram, he did a masterclass over here, and the response is very good, and he's very knowledgeable and passionate about the representing his house of Armagnac, which is Tatikalon, and he's now in a way of learning from the master blender. But he mentioned to us that blending is it really takes a lot of time, a lot of effort and experience to blend into the correct blend. Yeah. And this is the master distiller. Yeah, been working for the house for maybe 20-30 years already. Yeah. And this is where they keep their cask. So the characteristic of Tatikalon unoaked, why they put it like this type of bottle, the packaging, that compared to the rest is going to be very like formal. It's because they want to make Armagnac as fun as possible. Yeah.
Okay.
It's to penetrate the market and to let bartenders experience it and make cocktails out of it. Yeah.
But I think it's good for making cocktail.
Yeah, of course.
Because by
When they
nature
taste
of
it, it's like creamy and fruity at the meantime. For us, this is unaged, so alcohol content, if I'm not wrong, is 43%. Yeah, 43.2%. Yeah. So now I say the taste is creamy and fruity and so for the nose out of it, it tends to be like a little bit like gassy, like funky in flavor. So it reminds me of like the the thing that we play is like you squeeze out.
Yeah,
the atas. The
Atas
atas
one.
one. So we mentioned to him that no, he asked us a question like, so what is this? They say, oh, this is nasi lemak. It can be eaten breakfast, lunch, dinner, all day, 24 hours. Then he's like, oh, he's like, yeah, it's not like French omelette. This is nasi lemak. Can be 24 hours. He's like, okay. But how do I eat it? That's a tricky one. Make it into a beautiful mess and just swallow it. They're like, okay. So we asked him about how it tastes like. Then he said, interesting. I said, okay. Yeah. So this little bit of
Do they feel it's like too spicy for the French person?
before he came, I
He
asked him
experienced that.
about his dietary restriction. He told me that he can take spicy but not overly spicy, but he can eat almost everything. Okay. So fair enough. But we brought him to Coconut.
Yeah, I think it's a good try because that's our local food.
Yeah, brought him to Coconut Club. Then okay. And also did mention to him that Singapore, we take our makan very seriously and our drinking also very seriously. Okay, passionate. I say yes, Olympic sports. Yeah. Okay. The next distillery we're gonna talk about is the Pedal. Yeah. So from what you can see, the outside of the house itself. They also have a little bit of history involved. So Pedal is at the terroir of Tenehas in the middle. So from what you can see over here is they are using for this expression that we're going to taste is 100% Uni Blanc and 40% ABV. Aged 30 years. So when you nose it, drink it, it's got to be, like say, very round in flavor. Finishing is good, fruity in the meantime, and obviously has a hint of like prunes and raisins. This is much more like gassy than the first one. And over there is the bottle that you guys can have a look at. This one.
I take together. All the tasting bottles.
But 40%, do you guys feel that there's a burn? Right? Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit of burn.
Yeah, a little bit of burn, right? And it's because of from what I think is the 100% the Uni Blanc. Yeah. And don't you guys think that it's very fruity in the palate and the finishing is longer?
Right.
Yeah. A little bit dry at the meantime. Because wine tends to be dry. Right? And I also mentioned that the grapes that they harvest is usually the skin is thicker and the flesh is sour. Yeah. But mostly nobody will drink the wine because it's too sour.
Yeah,
After they distill, they make the wine, they distill it.
Yeah, to make this.
Yeah,
you're right.
into this.
Yeah.
And obviously there's no sugar content involved because grape itself is sugar. Next is a very famous Arton. I mentioned that there's only like 5% of a house that's being at the terroir of Oak Armagnac. So Arton is one of them, situated at 220 meters above altitude. So they are also very lucky. And the fun fact of it is they are the first one, the so-called the owner of the house he keep on like challenging the French government to make the French government let them make the first ever unoaked Armagnac. Yeah. So during 2005, the French government approved, and that's where all the AOC happens. Yeah.
Why they want to push for that? Open up the market.
Not say open up the market. It's because why the Americans can do like moonshine, like bourbon, without aging, like it's called the moonshine, or even like gin that doesn't need to age, or even vodka doesn't need to age. But why can't Armagnac from wine distilled to blanche that doesn't need to age and can be taste like has enjoyable, has is aged before, right? So it's like a revolution that they try to play in the history of Armagnac as well. Yeah. So the third one is called the Arton Reserve. So it is at least a minimum of 6 years. Now you see why we curate this this is from unaged.
Yeah.
Straight away you jump to 30 years.
Oh.
And a minimum of 6 years. Because we want to let you guys have a taste of the evolvement of the Armagnac itself. So from something that is okay, you drink good, better, or even better, and the best. Yeah, that's what a flight is all about. You start from something pretty soft, pretty subtle, and slowly you go with much more robust in flavor, or even we say about maybe we try to curate one is fruity, like a fruity style. You have less fruity to much more intense in fruitiness. Yeah. So from what I can see, the soil that they use is limestone. Yeah, because it's situated at the hill, 220 meters in altitude. Yeah, so they are situated here, which consists of 5% of it, but nobody will use here. But there's also another 2 different houses that's being situated here as well. Yeah, and hence the way that they produce are all the top-notch ones. That most of their Armagnacs are award-winning in the San Francisco Spirits Award as well. Yeah. So you can see the generations involved. So obviously these are the owner. Then they pass down to their kids. But I forgot.
Asian.
This Asian woman is from China. I forgot which one did she marry.
Okay.
And actually she's a fashionista. She's into fashion. But she joined, of course, the family business to stay at the farm site. Which is, I don't think I can do it. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. So it's like from this generation passed on to this generation as of today, and these are the next generation that the kids. Yeah, they have to carry on with the family tradition as well. And the way I feel that they are, let's say, it's like a must for them to like pass it down to their descendants.
Correct.
Because it's rich in history, 500, 600 over years old. Yeah. So these are the characteristics of the La Reserve. So it's 45% in alcohol content. So you will feel a little bit of burn, but it's a good kind of burn. But the flavor involved is much more intense, in the sense that you'll have much more taste of the wood, and also, like say, maybe nuttiness. Nose is definitely better than the Palao. It's a very pleasant nose to it, very fruity, very perfumey kind of nose that
I
you
was,
keep
I
on.
was thinking perfume. You can make it into perfume and spray.
Yeah, and the first people that make perfume are actually Turkish. Alcohol. Perfume is also alcohol. Yeah. And the surprising thing is they don't drink alcohol. They make perfume because haram.
Right.
So Aton is like is an Armagnac that really stands out from its own. The way that they produce Armagnac is very different from the others as well because of the terroir that they are in, that the soil, the limestone that they have is way different from the rest of maybe like Canahas or even from Bar Armagnac. Very fruity. It reminds me of like a green apple, very citrusy at the meantime. But whatever I say is all my tasting notes. So you guys, the tasting note is going to be different from mine. It's absolutely fine. Yeah, because we have our own personal palates. I ever did once is like when I was into whiskey. So apparently, me and Samantha, we worked at a whiskey bar called The Wall, long time ago, about 8-9 years ago, and we are the top 5 whiskey bars in Singapore, and also travel around Asia to give like whiskey talks. And there's once is I take a glass of, I've forgotten it's which brand, which distillery that I know I drink. Then I told the audience that did you guys taste of orange and apples? Then they'd be like, oh yeah. They say no, it's wrong. It's like just making like assumption. So you have to trust your own taste, your taste bud. Yeah. Because my dietary is also way different. Yeah. I don't drink coffee. I cut down on spicy stuff. Yeah. Coca-Cola here and there. Yeah. So for this La Reserve is at least a minimum of 6 years. Yeah. And it can be more as well. Yeah. Because it's a blend. Next one, a very small and like I say new in the producing of Armagnac, or maybe they even revive it from their previous generation. So later I'll show you how the couple looks like. They are a pretty middle-aged couple. They're with white hair. So it's Domaine d'Espahan. Yeah. So from what you can see, that the vintages that they produce are vintage from 92 all the way to 2007. So the rest are still like Asian. Yeah. And they are quite aggressive on their packaging as well, on their choices of the variety of grapes. And some of them are like the red, with the one with the red label on the top of the bottle. Yep, it's all Espanjol. So their range it can be like a special Casconi cask. It can be like purely just one single grape variety, and also vintages as well. This couple. Yeah. Very passionate about what they do. This is the place that they hold the cask for aging, and she still travel around to like talk about their house. Espanjol, yeah, Claire and John, John Bruce. They are buying that they are growing their grapes variety. Then until like August to September, like I showed you guys, is the period that they harvest. Yeah, the place that they hold their cask. So each cask has their own different serial number as well. And why do they need to put serial number is because of the master blender. They will draw like certain ml, then they will start to blend. Then they will write down the notes.
Okay.
Yeah. It's not purely like 5 casks, 200 ml, blend everything together. No. Yeah. They will take a certain amount, then they will start to blend. Then you start to write down notes like maybe like from cask A is 100 ml, cask B 25 ml, plus cask 3 and so forth. Until they decided that okay, it's good for blending, then they'll collect all the casks and they'll start to blend with a certain amount, and they have to do the mathematics into it.
Thank you. Mystery. Yes. Mystery.
So for the Esmahon, the 18 years, is a variety of 2 grapes, is the Baco and the Flot Blanche. So Flot Blanche, like I say, is like consists of 2% in the whole entire grape varieties in France itself. So 18 years, nose it, taste it, and tell me how you feel. Does it taste better than the first 2 age expressions that you guys tasted before? And this is like an experiment, yeah, of a 30-year compared to an 18-year. The 18-year stands better than the 30-year. But end of the day, it boils down to personal preference. Some of our media, they really like the 30. Some of them, they are veterans in the drink business. They like the Armagnac. Yeah. So it's totally different. Yeah. For me, and maybe for Samantha itself, we have been drinking brown spirit, aged spirits for the longest time, but somehow or other, when something like out of nowhere they appear, like for this is an unoaked one, an aged one, we drink it, it's like, oh!
Gives you a lot of
Surprise.
surprises.
Yeah. Surprise.
It's like, for example, like last time we get to drink a lot of like aged or very vintage whiskies and all that, but it's already there, so there's no wow factor or like surprise you, because we will see the color, it's like otaoyo soya sauce like that, so dark color, so we expect that, and then okay normal, so it's like, but among this flight, the one that I like most is the third one, the Armagnac. It's 4 years old, but really outstanding.
Yeah. So like I say, person preference at the meantime. My poison might not be your poison. Yeah. So the fourth one, Esmahon, 18 year, full of raisins, very fruity in flavor, a little bit dry, but at the meantime it's still very enjoyable. Sit down at the couch, watch TV, watch the news, or waiting for the laundry, or even have a scoop of vanilla ice cream. You cannot finish the Armagnac, pour it over an ice cream and just enjoy it. Yeah. Because it's very fruity. It's like rum and raisins, but why not and like an Armagnac. Yeah. So the last one, the mystery one. Obviously it's got to be from Barbeneuf. Yeah. So Barbeneuf is a very niche, very small house in France as well. And this bottle is a little bit special. It's a single cask. There's only 100 bottles available. And this bottle is being bottled by my boss.
Oh,
Yeah. So right now, maybe you can do a little bit of like a video call to her, and she will explain like what's the inspiration and what is it all about.
okay.
If she never answer, it means she put it on her. Yeah. Or she's watching the CCTV. Are you ready, Celine? Okay, sorry.
Hello.
Yeah. So, Celine, please meet the media. Sorry.
Hello.
Yeah. So, we are now tasting your bottling,
Yes.
the Berlin 1980. Yeah. So, can you share with them why this bottling, and also share with them the taste profile of this bottling as well.
At least can I hear, what your take on the 1980 from the tester, from our guest?
Yeah. They're having it now.
Yeah, not yet. I try now.
So Celine is the founder of for Exquisite Elixir and also for CCG, and she also have a bar in Bangkok. It's near to Thong Long. It's called Frog.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, my business is we imported this category, which is not very common in the market. So, and I'm not independent bottlers. So this, even though it's bottled by using our own name to bottle it, it's not because we want to open kind of start to market ourselves as independent bottlers. But at least can you let me know what you think about the glass? What's in the glass? The 1980.
So what do you guys think regarding the taste profile of it? I felt that it's definitely way different from the rest, because it comes from a single cask and it comes from a single grape variety. And from what I can see that it's aged is vintage 1980, but it's being bottled at year 2022. So it's like a 42-year-old, and definitely just one single cask itself, and it's not blended. Obviously, it has a lot of character involved. And maybe you can share with Celine that what do you guys think?
Yeah, personally, I quite like it. Compared to the rest, I think it's a bit not as spicy. So I feel it's I don't know the right word. Maybe easier to drink. I feel that you can drink a bit more, and goes well with food as well. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's my thinking. Yeah.
Okay.
I agree. I think it's a beautiful prune character, but also on the palate there is a very welcome salted caramel note.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree with the warm and salty caramel.
Yeah.
It just like linger in the mouth. That is rich in flavor.
Yeah.
Ma'am, how about you? how do you feel?
You like it? Do you like it?
Actually, I'm more a taste person, the smell person.
Okay,
so I find that the smell is very unique. It doesn't smell like very sweet like the rest, with the caramel, very strong caramel and vanilla accent kind of smell. The smell is very unique.
Okay. Celine. So
So this vintage is we decided to acquire the vintage because it's actually a benchmark for Armagnac categories. This is like an example of what a good Armagnac should possess in terms of characteristic and the complexity and the taste palette for this. Armagnac is a kind of spirit that is mature, right? About like 25 years, 30 years, it's matures. But this one is about 40 years old, so it's not really old, because there are older Armagnac, which there are some people that prefer a very old Armagnac, which is about like 50 or 60 years old. This is considering in the middle, in the between, but it's as I said, it's like it has the benchmark kind of features in terms of attribute. So the nuance is there. The requirement of the age Armagnac is there, which is like the caramels, the steel fruit, and the also a little bit of the hongxiu, which is the age of the spirit that interact with the inside of the wood cask. So it's pretty nice. It's pretty good in terms of the age and the vintage. So that's why we select this to be one of our under our bottling instead. But I don't really select Armagnac or buy any vintage in terms of a bulk. So unless it has some kind of impressive quality to it.
So one thing about Celine is that she traveled to France quite a lot, and she enjoyed talking to different houses and to different people, and also obviously drinking Armagnac. And
that's so true.
The way that me and she and us, we do like blind tasting, like it's also in a very unique way as well. Yeah, that working with her is very enjoyable. Yeah.
I think that especially of Armagnac is that mostly the producers, they are very small scales in terms of production. Is like a homemade kind of spirit. So a lot of this vintage that we have in our stock, some of the producers are no longer producing anymore. So a lot of things like it's kind of become a dying arts in terms of these collections that we have. So it's unavoidable that once in a while we came across something really good and we would want to preserve it. But it's what we can do is that we are trying to acquire the best vintage that we can. Some of the the year that we choose from the suppliers might not be up to the standard. Then we don't import every vintage that they have. So some of it is very good and very impressive. Then we